second half of the last century, was a remarkable group of men. They came from the working class people of Limerick because there was no involvement by middle class people or upper class people in brass bands and in any other kind of bands that I know of in Limerick. The people who made up the Boherbuoy Band at that time, in 1850, 1860, 1870, they were mainly tradesmen. For instance, you find a lot of stonecutters, carpenters, fitters, street sweepers, and general labourers. But they were mainly working class people. And they came from the areas in Limerick that would be described, I suppose, as the side streets, the lanes, and the slums of the cities. But they rose above those living conditions and went on to produce marvellous music. In fact, they came from an area in Limerick called the Yellow Road, hence the name Boherbuoy Band. That is the origin of the Boherbuoy Band in Limerick.
Limerick, my city. City of the fat tower John's Castle, built by an invading English king and by stonemasons from Liverpool, 11th century. Southfield is the word and Southfield is the man. Country gentleman and soldier who rode hard for France after the treaty signed on this stone saw the end of the Irish princes. Today, city of remnants in the old Norman marketplace, trading place of the Danes, of the Normans, of the Orange, of the Frenchies, of cosmopolitan city. Remnants of militaria and martial airs and wise old women by the waters, not of Babylon, but of the lordly Shannon. And when I was growing up, everybody I knew the Boherbuoy. As children, we would come helter-skelter out of the houses to watch them. The Stella, or as they say here, Estella, this building was a dance hall in the era before bingo, and the numbers called then were the polka, known locally as the polka, and the Charleston. Musicians from the Boherbuoy played in dance bands all over the city. And in places like this, the parishes met. This was a skating rink, known simply as the rink, later a car showroom, and now soon to be demolished. Here, a whole generation eyed each other up and down, met, married and mated, and conceived another generation under the instruments of the musicians of the Boherbuoy, whose members came from any and every parish. The Boherbuoy, in its own way, was Limerick's own band.
In the late 40s, jiving came on the scene, especially it came on film, and that you'd have the Negroes jiving, and we had some really good ones. Some of them are still living in town, some of them have emigrated. They were really hot at it, and we started to get some good numbers, Glen Miller numbers, In the Mood, American Patrol, Anvil Chorus, all that kind of thing. And the band were really enjoying it. We got so fond of it that we started to rehearse a couple of mornings a week, in spite of the small money. And we began to enjoy it ourselves because the band was really swinging. When we were really swinging and beginning to enjoy it, suddenly the management decided that there was, I don't know, maybe too much leg showing or something. And these days, to be taken for granted, a lot more maybe along with it. But in those days, you'd barely see the top of a knee and slap.
And the memories of generations for whom the dance bands will be forever as much part of their memories as stiff slips under calico dance dresses in the summer and black dresses with sequins in the winter. Children of Mary with maybe a rose in your bosom. And those who danced with abandon on a Saturday night went to church with equal fervour on a Sunday morning. You remember churches. Now the largest numbers of women's novenas, and then the largest Catholic men's confraternity. Or so they used to say. Church-going, like music, hangs in the air in this city of high domes and high ideas. Rehearsals twice a week in their own bandroom, built by their own voluntary labour. Here, between breaks, the talk is of Verdi and of rugby and of soccer, and serious musicians for all that, under the baton of Paddy McCormick, who is also director of the Limerick School of Music. His father before him was bandmaster too, of the Boherbuoy, and essentially now it is a young band. Some of these young musicians, if the tradition is anything to go by, will go out to play in dance bands, ensembles, concert orchestras the world over. And in the meantime, in nearby Bunratty Folk Park, the touristy world comes to them. For many of these package holiday makers, the first musical sound of Ireland they will hear will be that of the Boherbuoy Band.
There was a very strange combination of interests in the Boherbuoy Band in the last century, because shortly after the band was founded in 1850, you had the development in Ireland of the Fenian movement, and many members of the band were Fenian supporters and sympathisers, and indeed marched with the Fenians and suffered for their allegiance there. And there was another influence as well, which was very strong, and in this instance, the Boherbuoy Band is not untypical of many Irish bands, insofar as many of its members were British ex-servicemen who learned their music as members of regiments' bands in Britain and came home after they had been demobbed to Limerick to play with the Boherbuoy Band.
The rapidly flowing Curragh Falls on the Shannon, city of sieges, of moats, of boats, boatmen and watermen. Further upriver from the city, the Corbally Regatta is held here every year. The Boherbuoy entertain at Fate, and as much part of the place as Packet and Tripe used to be. Here now, on Fate, in their new uniforms, and as familiar here as when these men were boys. widely known throughout the rest of the country how popular a local pastime is the business of boats and boating, as in this watery stretch of the old city. These are angling cots that could skim over rocks, and a more flat-bottomed version was used for lifting sand from the riverbed, hence the term sandmen, once applied to whole families who earned their living on the river. Sandmen, parkmen, Norsemen and Danesmen, placid skimmers of the Plassey and Corrigower. Great city for bands, each parish with its own. Sarsfields, St. John's, St. Mary's. Very often the part of Limerick you grew up in determined the band you would join. Brass and reed, fife, flute and drum. More than most, veteran Bud Clancy, musician, band leader and trumpeter, knows about this tradition.
They were nearly all members or ex-members of the Munster Fusiliers. They were a grand band. You would have to be dead, or at least nearly dead, if you didn't march with them. They had a first-class drum corps. They had a bugle corps also. They made a record about 60 years ago, which some people have yet. Time marches on.
If you grew up, as I did, in a city that awoke on Sunday mornings to the strident sound of a brassy band, and wherever you went afterwards, to London or to Dusseldorf or to Philadelphia, that was always with you. For if you heard it in the morning air of a strange city, your senses would be stirred, and your mind would go back to the place you first heard that sound, and you would remember the band that played it.